Every day, thousands of people dial 911 in their most desperate moments, expecting help on the other end of the line. But sometimes, the call doesn't come in time to save a life. In this episode, we recount real 911 calls that expose the darkest corners of human nature. But before we jump in, the calls in this video are extremely disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. As always, remember to hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to stay up to date with the channel. Alright, let's dive into the calls. The Naples Zoo, a popular tourist destination in Florida, became the site of a terrifying event in December 2021. River Rosenquist, a 26-year-old maintenance worker, made a grave error that would lead to tragedy. It was after hours, and River decided to approach the enclosure of a Malayan tiger named Echo, an 8-year-old, 275-pound predator. River's decision to reach into the enclosure triggered the tiger's natural instincts. In an instant, Echo grabbed his arm with its powerful jaws. Zoo staff quickly made a 911 call, frantically describing the unfolding horror.
You gotta shoot it. You gotta shoot it. You gotta shoot it, please. Please, please, please.
They're coming.
When deputies arrived on the scene, they had to make a heartbreaking decision. After failed attempts to lure Echo away from River, officers were forced to shoot the tiger, killing it instantly. Rosenquist was freed, but gravely injured. Echo's death sparked outrage among animal rights groups and raised questions about human interference in wildlife environments. While River survived the attack, the loss of the tiger remains a painful reminder of the consequences that can arise when boundaries are crossed. In July 2009, San Antonio police received one of the most chilling 911 calls they had ever encountered. Adi Sanchez, a 33-year-old mother, was suffering from severe postpartum psychosis. What happened inside her home defied all comprehension.
Oh my God.
San Antonio Fire EMS, how can we help you?
I needed ambulance at 351 Wayside Drive.
When police arrived, they found a horrifying scene. Sanchez had murdered her 3-week-old infant son, Scott Wesley Buchholz, using a knife and sword. In her psychotic state, she believed that she had been commanded by Satan to take her child's life. Sanchez was diagnosed with postpartum psychosis and schizophrenia. Her defense attorneys successfully argued that she was insane at the time of the killing. She was committed to a state mental institution and has remained under psychiatric care ever since. Adi Sanchez's case sparked national debates about mental health awareness and postpartum care. Her 911 call, filled with confusion and terror, remains a chilling testament to the importance of mental health intervention. The 911 call that a Gates Mills police officer made right after his wife shot him at their home was released by Paynesville police. Dylan Hustosky was shot twice in the left arm by his wife, Kaylee Hustosky, according to the cops.
She's going to kill me, Sherry. Shot me through the door.
She shot you through the door?
Detectives say Dylan Hustosky called 911 from his cell phone as he ran away from the couple's 2-story home on the quiet street. There were bullet holes in his left arm when cops found him in the driveway of Heritage Middle School. Their home, where they raised their 3-year-old son and a small dog, is not far from the school. Dylan Hustosky was scared when the 911 operator told him to tie a piece of clothing around his arm to stop the blood. Dylan Hustosky's voice can only be heard for the first minute and 15 seconds of the 4-minute call. Soon after, he screamed because he heard what sounded like a gunshot. Dylan Hustosky was taken by ambulance to Tri-Point Medical Center in Concord Township. From there, he was moved to Metro Health to get care. Kaylee Hustosky was in the house at that point, and she told the police that she would not talk to them or come out of the house. The cops in Paynesville had to call in SWAT from Lake County. To get inside the house, the police used a robot and 2 drones. Kaylee Hustosky was found upstairs in the house with a single gunshot wound at 7:42 p.m. The body was taken to the Cuyahoga County Medical Examiner's office so that it could be examined.
Why are you in my house, bro?
Christopher Neal, who was 22 years old at the time, asked William Paul Jones this question more than once on 911 tapes that were made public by the Kalamazoo County Consolidated Dispatch Authority. Chris Neal, his wife, and their daughter were held hostage in their Comstock Township home on December 1st. William Paul Jones is accused of killing Chris and shooting and wounding 3 police officers. The suspect sounded confused on several calls that night from inside the house. The man from Battle Creek didn't seem to know why he was at Christopher Neal's house that night when asked. William only told 911 operators that his life was already threatened that night and that shots had been fired, but not in the house. He also says that it wasn't his fault and points the finger at a guy named Brandon Thorpe. Several times during the calls, William could be heard telling Chris, "I promise I won't hurt you guys." While Chris and Jones were on speakerphone, a dispatcher told Jones to let Chris, his wife Haley Coe, and their 2-year-old daughter Charlotte go outside. William said no and refused. "They are safe with me." They hid their daughter with Haley in a bedroom upstairs while Chris and William stayed downstairs. Chris told the police that Jones had 2 guns on him.
Well, I get what you're saying, but you got 2 guns, bro.
You got 2 guns?
According to the police report and 911 tapes, he told Chris to go into a bedroom downstairs and asked who was on the other line. He said he didn't think it was a 911 dispatcher or that the police were outside the house. William Jones called a different dispatcher from a different phone and said that Chris and the dispatcher were scrambling their messages. He told them he wasn't there to hurt them and that his life was in danger and asked for help. After a few minutes, he told the dispatcher, "I'm not holding him hostage. I want police here." The dispatcher talking to Chris put his call on hold and then connected it with William's call and a call from a sheriff's deputy outside the house. This happened while Haley was upstairs on a different 911 call. William told the constable to put his badge under the door. When the constable said he wasn't near the door but outside, William told him, "No one is there." He hung up the phone without answering when the constable asked him what was making him so angry. Haley told the dispatcher that she heard what sounded like a gunshot downstairs while she was upstairs. The police report says that cops who were around the house at the time heard shots as well. Around 25 minutes after the first call at 10:26 p.m., dispatchers called Chris's phone again right away. From what the police report says about the events, more shots were fired from the bedroom at 10:30 p.m., 4 minutes after the police were told Chris was dead. After 2 minutes, Chris told the cops inside the house that he wasn't really dead. After 1 minute, at 10:33 p.m., he yelled that William was on top of him. That was the last time the cops heard from Chris Neal. At 10:36, 10:37, and 10:38 p.m., they fired more shots from the bedroom. The bedroom door was used to fire shots that hit Michigan State Police Trooper Mark Fletcher, Kalamazoo County Sheriff's Deputy Noah Susick, and Kalamazoo Public Safety Officer Caleb Jones. All 3 cops were hurt, but they were all fine in the end. At 10:44 p.m., another gunshot was heard coming from inside the room. Soon after, the police broke in and found Chris dead. When the police came into the room, they saw William trying to escape through a back window that he had apparently broken with his gun. The police were waiting for him in the garden, so William Jones was arrested by cops just after a short fight. In March 2017, a 911 call from Lilburn, Georgia,
I just got hit by a train.
would change the life of a 17-year-old forever. Jacob Ohl was walking near the train tracks when tragedy struck. Jacob, a high school senior, was walking near Shelley Lane when a CSX train struck him. His legs were severed below the knees. Despite the horrific accident, Jacob was able to call 911 for help. First responders arrived just in time to save Jacob's life. His quick thinking and the tourniquets applied by paramedics prevented him from bleeding out. Jacob's case led to a lawsuit against CSX Railroad, accusing the train operators of negligence for not sounding the horn or stopping in time. Despite losing both legs, Jacob has become a symbol of resilience, with his family fighting for justice on his behalf. Jacob's recovery has been long and arduous, but his strength and determination have inspired many. His tragic accident serves as a stark reminder of the dangers surrounding railway tracks. Loretta Pickard's last moments were recorded in a frantic 911 call that showed how bad things were for her during a house fire. This 72-year-old woman from Polk County, Florida, was stuck in her home as the fire quickly spread around her. As she tried to get away, her call to 911 was full of fear and panic.
My house is on fire, and I'm here alone, and I'm on a walker.
Loretta begged for help on the phone, telling the dispatcher that she was stuck in her bedroom because of the smoke and heat and couldn't find a way out. The dispatcher told her over and over that help was on the way and tried to keep her quiet by telling her to find a window or some other way to get out of the building. Even with all of these efforts, Loretta was unable to find a way out as the fire destroyed her home. When firefighters got there, they fought the fire, but it was too late by the time they got to Loretta. She was found dead in her own home. These calls filled with fear, panic, and regret are more than just moments captured on tape. They are the echoes of lives forever altered by tragedy. For every voice on the other end of the line, there is a person hoping for help, some surviving, some not. But the stories they leave behind remind us of the fragility of life and the importance of the seconds that follow every desperate call for help. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and want to keep watching, then check out these videos on the screen now. If you have a topic suggestion, please send it to the email in the description. And as always, remember to like, comment, share the video, and subscribe to our channel. And remember, the only thing scarier than these stories is missing out on our next video.